Wall Street is up this morning after 3 days of big losses. We're taking a live look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. There is some relief that there may be some negotiations on President Trump's stiff worldwide trade tariffs. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with more details.
This morning, a big jump up on the big board. The Dow Jones opened 1,300 points higher. The other indexes also opened higher with hints of peace talks in the trade war. The Treasury Secretary at the White House this morning says nearly 70 countries approached the United States to negotiate President Trump's new tariffs.
You're starting to negotiate. How soon do you think we could see some deals be made?
Well, we have one of the Vietnamese officials coming in this week. The Japanese are very eager to get over, and I think you're going to see a couple of big trading partners do deals very quickly.
But China today vowing a fight to the end over trade tariffs. President Trump now threatening even more tariffs against China. The president vowing an additional 50% tariff if China does not step back from its 34% tariff on all imported U.S. goods.
With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already. And I said, if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on.
This would bring the tariffs on China effectively to more than 100%. A spokesperson with the Chinese Ministry of Commerce calling the reciprocal tariffs a bullying practice. Some economists saying some of the mixed messaging is adding to the uncertainty in the financial markets.
Well, what we're seeing is the stock market look for any signs that this is a negotiating tool and not an end game when it comes to tariffs.
The Wall Street Journal says tech giant Apple is working on its own tariff workaround, planning to ship more iPhones from India to offset the high cost of shipping out of China. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
We spoke with an economic expert here in Chattanooga who says we are approaching a bear market. Howard Wall, an economics professor at UTC, says bear markets often reflect fears that companies will earn less, which can hint at a possible recession. And when investments shrink, fear sets in, especially for those nearing retirement.
The group that really is on top of this are people between 60 and 65 because they've been saving up and the market's done well and they're like thinking of maybe retiring and they're probably making a different decision today.
I would highly recommend that people refrain from selling at the bottom. I would hold tight.
Franklin said the market's ups and downs are expected, but it's how people respond that makes a difference. He recommends not taking on too much debt, avoiding borrowing money, as not selling when prices are at their lowest.